There we are.
Hi guys, it's Saturday and you're watching The Den. And today on The Den we have Eric.
Hey guys.
So this week on The Den, I decided that I'd sit down and have a little chat with Eric about music. I've noticed that or rather all three, myself, Eric, and Derek all have similar taste in music. So I thought maybe it might be quite interesting. So what do you think? Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. So the first thing I wanted to ask you was the in the news recently, Prince, obviously. What happened? Like, where were you when you found out? I obviously you're a pretty big fan, as am I.
Yeah, I was at work when the news crossed across Facebook that Prince had died, and I was sitting, like, my coworkers and I, like, whenever things happen, like, we just, like, oh my God, did you just see the news? And we would tell each other. And everyone was really shocked because it was completely unexpected. There's been a lot of reports that it was a result of, chronic pain and painkiller problems. So, I
Right.
mean, that kind of stuff just comes out of the blue for people.
Oh yeah, for sure, and quite a big loss, especially with Bowie recently as well.
Yeah, I think that it's weird because like both of them died like very close to each other, and um, both of them. I remember seeing a really great comment that we just lost two really great guys who paved the way for generations of men to rethink masculinity, which I think is a very apt statement for both of them. I mean, they were both very genderqueer, but both very masculine in their own ways. So yeah, that was a huge loss socially as well as musically.
For sure, and definitely pushed a lot of boundaries as far as sexuality. More so Bowie, obviously, but Prince definitely had his own as far as his hetero and
Yeah, it's funny because I learned a lot of stuff about Prince in his death that I didn't realize when I was younger. Like, in America, we had this whole like debate in the mid '90s about explicit music and about Tipper Gore pushing for labeling albums as having explicit lyrics and content so that parents could make sound choices and morally valid choices for their children.
right.
And that came about because Tipper Gore and Al Gore's daughter bought Purple Rain, which has Darling Nikki on it, which is a song about a woman masturbating in a hotel lobby. And so Tipper Gore created this list of like, the top 15 filthiest artists, and three of them were Prince related, actually. So it was just like a fascinating kind of like reveal to me. Like, growing up in the Midwest, like this kind of whole like community values, morality bullshit kind of came up a lot when I was growing up.
Right.
And it's just funny to see these things come about as an adult now. And you're like, oh my God, that's what that was about. How weird.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely completely changed perspective on things.
Yeah, yeah.
So, was it hard for you doing Seven by Prince for your karaoke video?
Um, it was difficult for me to like pick a song. I kind of went through a lot of different variations. Like I thought about like doing Kiss because that's a deeply iconic song and it's got a great guitar part.
Right.
But the falsettos are incredibly difficult. But I also thought about doing like Purple Rain or something. But honestly, I picked doing Seven because that particular song, it just hits me in this weird like soul kind of place because those harmonies are angelic in that song. It's just absolutely amazing.
For
So
sure.
I
Yeah.
that particular song and the video to that song like have lingered in my mind since they came out, and I had to do that one.
The lace across the eyes and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
one
I
of the
mean, the
doves
whole
and
yeah, I mean, the whole thing is apocalyptic. It's the big culmination, I think, of everything that Prince is about. Like sex and religion, and like all of these kind of confluences of things. This kind of sacred and profane experience that he was always kind of toying with in his music, and that particular song is a deep embodiment of that.
Definitely. All right, so the next topic's kind of like a little less Prince related. What I've noticed, I haven't gone to a lot of concerts lately, just simply for the fact that the cost of tickets are absolutely ridiculous. And the concerts that I have gone to, the tickets have been 25 and $50, and to be honest, they've been better than the tickets, or like leagues better than the concerts that I've paid $150, $200 for tickets. So
For sure.
what's your opinion on that?
On the crazy cost of ticket prices, well, I think it just depends on what it is that you want to see. You know, like I just shelled out like $400 in opera tickets. Like,
Well,
I mean, that's a totally different environment. But
completely.
I mean, it's very much of the same cast. Like, you know, you could easily drop $200 to see Nine Inch Nails or Madonna or Cher or somebody, you know, huge names. You know,
somebody like that to me is justifiable paying that much because they've been around for decades. It's not like they're relatively new artists. A friend of mine just went and seen Rihanna recently, and I think with the backstage pass ticket and pre-show and free drinks and all that, it ended up costing her over $400 to see Rihanna.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, more power to you. And I know that the Beyonce tickets are going like crazy too.
Oh yeah, she's going to see her too.
I mean, there are places where you can get, you know, tickets for, you know, half price and things like that. And I think that that's absolutely justifiable for a lot of people. But I mean, you're absolutely right that, you know, small ticket, local bands, small bands is totally still a really great experience. I mean, I think that last year I went and I saw a couple of rap artists. I saw Leaf. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but
no.
He's a queer rap artist, and he's done some amazing stuff. He had a new album come out, I think, recently too. It's Leif, Leaf, and I know Mickey Blanco is coming to town, and I keep debating on whether or not I'm going to go see that show. Another one, it's like queer rap, genderqueer rap. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But those shows aren't that expensive, and they're tons of fun. I mean, the people that are in that audience and the shows that they give are just like, they just pull it all out. I went to New York City to see the Accidental Bear ensemble tour of like all these like queer artists a couple years back, and I can't remember how much I paid for that, but I mean, it wasn't a ton of money, but it was Big Dipper, Darlene Gunsel, Logan Lynn, like all these like big name queer artists, and it was just absolutely fucking amazing. Ricochet, It was just so much fucking fun. It was great.
But as a great big group package, right? Not.
Yeah. It was a whole night of music, and it was just super cool.
See, that I definitely would say is worthwhile. The last concert I went to was Steven Wilson, and it's actually the last two concerts that I've gone to. Paid $25 a ticket, and honest to God, the best concert I've ever been to. And I think it's because it's in a smaller venue, the acoustics are better, they resonate better. It was all at Old Grand Halls, the Opera House, which I think is like 250 years old, and like so the way the sounds resonate were phenomenal. And I just I seen Linkin Park at the Air Canada Centre, which I guess is called the Rogers Centre now. But
stadium place.
Something like that. I don't know. It shows how often I go to Toronto. But anyway, it just the acoustics in that versus the smaller venues was awful. Like I was not impressed. I was kind of all I could hear was myself singing.
Yeah. You know, I mean, like DC's got a lot of really great venues. You know, there's a lot of small places, mid-sized places, you know, arenas. And I've seen shows at all of them. Like U Street Music Hall is a tiny little space. It's a little underground bar type place, and that's where I saw Leaf. And I've been to the 930 Club, which is the iconic like 2-story kind of music venue here in DC. That's where I saw Amanda Palmer, and I saw Nine Inch Nails at the I don't even know where it was, the Verizon Center, which is the big, huge like basketball hockey stadium, right?
Right.
You know, and I mean that show, the Nine Inch Nails show was unbelievable. I mean, they always do really good with the acoustics of their shows in general because they're doing electronica and all these light shows and displays. But even the band that preceded them, which was Godspeed You Black Emperor,
Yep.
they were unfucking real, and it had like, you know, this kind of mellow, kind of very intimate appeal, even though it was in this huge arena. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on how how those venues get laid out as to how they sound.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So reunions. What's your opinion on reunion albums?
Oh, do you have an example of something?
Any of the reunion albums.
Oh, that's tough.
Well, Fleetwood Mac did an EP that I've listened to once or twice, and I'm not impressed at all with it.
Yeah, I haven't heard it personally. I mean, I don't mind bands coming back together and doing some new material. I think that that's great, and you know, more power to them, especially if it's any good.
Therein lies the problem.
That is the problem sometimes. I mean, a lot of times it winds up just sounding like retreads, you know. But I mean, it could be good, it could be bad. It just depends on the band. I can't think of anything personally that has been like a quote unquote reunion album that that I really kind of like wanted to get. I mean, like the latest stuff that I got the new Radiohead album, which is basically just a new Radiohead album. It's not like they went anywhere,
Right? Yeah.
you know. But and soundtracks and stuff. But yeah, I can't think of anything in particular that kind of necessarily drew me out.
All right. And with that, who would you like to see reunited? Just even for a tour?
That's really difficult to say. Well, I mean, I know that REM split up, and I've seen REM play before, but I know that Bill Berry's got medical conditions to kind of prevent him from getting back in the drum set. So I can see why that's not happening.
Right.
But should anything ever like that happen, I think it would be amazing. I mean, Michael Stipe's gone out and done some new stuff recently. Like he was in the Bowie tribute event that happened in New York a while back, and I think that he's been doing some other work. But I mean, I can't think of any particular band that, should they reunite, I would like go rush out to see. Like, I don't know, I saw like there was like some kind of like 90s reunion thing. Oh, you know what it was the Misfits. That's what I saw recently, was like Glenn Danzig's getting back together with the Misfits, and I was like, well, maybe I'll go see that. I think I saw Danzig play back when Mother came out, but I haven't been in a long time.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's just a few years.
Yeah, I know. I think I was in high school at the time.
Be careful, you're showing your age there.
I know.
All right. So let me see my list here. Any upcoming concerts or new releases in music that you're looking forward to? Obviously, the new Radiohead albums.
I love the new Radiohead album. It is so delicious. Like, listening to it with headphones on is just like amazing.
That's the only way to listen to it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've listened to it on speakers, and it just doesn't no justice. I can imagine my friend Christian has a turntable set up in his house with like really nice, high quality, high fidelity speaker sound system, and I can imagine that it probably sounds good on that. But like, you know, having those sounds like pumped straight into your ears is just like, it's so calming and so delicious. Like, and there's something weird about that album too, in that like all of the sounds are very like muted or tamped down kind of comparatively.
Yeah.
It's got like a very ethereal kind of almost archaic quality to it. Like it was like recovered or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting, and listening to it like closely is definitely a good experience. The other thing that I've been listening to kind of like back and forth between listening to the Radiohead album is the soundtrack to The Witch. the movie The Witch, but that came out like last winter, and it's like a New England kind of like witch folk fairy tale movie, right? You know,
Okay.
this family moves off to the edge of the woods, and you know their baby goes missing, and there's like a coven out in the forest, and it's like, oh shit. It's a very cool horror, slow burn kind of horror movie. More like a terror, kind of like The Shining, right?
Okay.
But anyways, the soundtrack to it, there's a weird amount of parallels in that there's a lot of like kind of subtextual sub rasa things that are kind of in there that kind of like boom out every once in a while. But there's this one moment right towards the end of the soundtrack where you can hear like chanting, and I'm like, what is that? And a friend of mine posted a link that basically outlined that it's actually from like John Dee's like angelic communications, and that this is the call like in this like angelic language, you know. And it's like, oh my god. So like I had this whole moment like listening to it, but there's like all these strange parallels between the Mark Corbin soundtrack to The Witch and the Radiohead album, and that they kind of blend together fairly well in a weird way. I don't know how that works exactly, but listening to those two together and back to back is kind of messing with me in a good way.
Well, the film came out when, last year?
I think it was either early this year or last year, yeah. Late last year or early this year.
It's possible that those parallels aren't just coincidence then, that they may have actually seen it and drawn inspiration.
Possibly. I mean, the movie's been out for a long time, except for it's been doing like festival circuits and things. So, I mean, I don't know if Tom York had any kind of inspiration there, but
come on, the lead single's Burn the Witch.
That's true. The lead single is called Burn the Witch. So maybe there is something there. I don't know.
Hey.
But I don't think I'm not quite sure of anything forthcoming. I have not bought the Lemonade album, Beyonce's Lemonade album. I need to listen to that still.
You haven't, wait. Have you heard it at least?
I have not heard it. I am still behind. Like
sacrilege.
I know. I've listened to The Read. Like there's a podcast called The Read, and they had this whole like craze moment like where they were going through the Beyonce Lemonade video and the music together, breaking it down like piece by piece. And so I feel like I know what to expect going into it, but I haven't yet seen it or heard it.
Oh, I've heard it. I absolutely love it. It's, in my opinion, her best album, although I wasn't a fan of her first few albums, so that's not saying much. But I haven't seen the video yet. I was talking to Derek the other day about it, and he was saying that it's really good and I've got to see it, but with work and whatnot. But eventually I'll get a chance to see it. But the best song, in my opinion, is definitely Freedom.
That is the one that everyone's kind of raving about right now. That, and the one though that I want to hear is called Daddy Lessons.
Oh
the country
my God!
Song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was blown away. When I heard that, I was blown away. And then I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm thinking, wait a minute. I didn't think her dad really died. What the hell's going on? So I had to go to this girl at work who also does a YouTube channel that I'm told her eventually I'll see if I can help her out more with. I've helped her a little bit here and there, but she knows absolutely everything about Beyonce and Rihanna and can't stump the girl. So.
And what's her take on Daddy Lessons?
She loves it, but it's not her favorite on the album. She likes the more hip hop kind of.
Right. I mean, and this is the kind of the wrench in there, in that it's country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did grow up in Texas, so there is that.
True. That's true. She's a Texas Bama, as she says in Formation.
For sure. All right, so I think that's it for today. The video, or rather the TV show that I'm recommending to Eric for next week's TV show swap is Outlander. He's already seen the first few episodes, but it'll be a nice review. Season 2's just started, and if any of you watch it, it's absolutely phenomenal.
I cannot wait to actually dive back into Outlander. I really did like it, and I was telling Phil before we went on air that, you know, working at the library, I've seen the Diana Gabaldon Outlander novels that are the inspiration for the show, and they are enormously thick. And the big one I remember was the audiobook for A Breath of Snow and Ashes, which is, I think, the second to last book in this series, as it's been written so far. Which is actually a 2-volume, like 45 or 60 disc set of audiobooks. But anyways, yeah, I've already seen bits and pieces of Outlander. I'm actually very excited about it. And if I could, for just a moment, I did want to say that in my video yesterday, I forgot to give Greg his assignment. But I did tell him after the fact what I wanted him to watch, and it is Dante's Cove.
Ooh. I've heard a lot about that. I haven't seen it myself either.
Dante's Cove is a deliciously gay, trashy witchcraft soap opera that used to be on a network called the Here Network.
Right.
And it starred a number of people who you've probably seen in like gay film, like TLA Strand releasing type films.
Right.
Oh gosh, I can't think of the character, but the actress from Babylon 5, whose name I cannot remember, is like the lead witch in the series, and she's pretty fucking awesome. So,
awesome.
yeah. So I've given Greg the assignment to watch Dante's Cove.
Oh, awesome. Can't wait to see his review. All right, so that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys.
Bye.